And welcome in, everybody. Thanks for joining us. With me in the booth, the famous Rochelle Patrick, former Columbia City Eagle alum. Thanks for joining us, Rochelle.
Thanks for having me today. Yeah, we've got a pretty night for baseball. Not quite as nice weather as last night or what tomorrow's forecasted, but we're dry and first pitch is happening.
Second pitch gets weakly grounded to Oscilier at third, goes across the diamond to Kreider, and there's the first out of the evening.
Yeah, Kreider scooped that out of the dirt just fine. Rowe beat the runner by a step. We're all good. One up, one down so far.
Good two-pitch at bat for Miller. We got some new camera angles from the crew this afternoon. We got a camera angle behind the plate, camera angle over there by the Eagles dugout. Give you a good view of first base. It's Miller's first pitch. The 2-hole is low for a ball. Cloudy skies this afternoon. The lights are on, so we'll be underneath the lights here in an hour or two.
Miller came back there with a strike on his second pitch. I'm going to have to really pay attention to the umpire from up here. Oh, he called that a strike, too. That was a little low and outside. But Miller needs to put that in his back pocket to remember that location. That's going to be a hard ball to hit. It'll definitely induce a ground ball if somebody makes contact with it.
And there's a liner. Short hops Brock Daly at second for an E5, or excuse me, an E4. That ball had some wicked spin on it.
Well, and it was just tough. It was going to end up being a short hop for him. He kind of got in front of it, and it just banked off his bicep there, it looked like.
We last saw Miller last Friday, a week ago, against the Warsaw Tigers. Miller has definitely put that outing behind him. He looks to bounce back with a win here against the Manchester Squires. First pitch misses, low and outside in the dirt for ball one.
Here goes the runner. Hit and run was on, fouled it off.
Your defense alignment for the Eagles behind the plate. Senior Sam Glad on the mound. Senior Aiden Miller.
Other way around. Sam Glad's behind the plate.
They have that mixed up. My apologies. Behind the plate, Sam Glad on the mound. Aiden Miller.
There we go.
Pickoff scooped by Kreider. Kreider's at first. Brock Daly at second. Two other seniors on the opposite side of the diamond with Dalen Johnson at short and Julian Oscilier at third. Double play opportunity. Johnson tossed it to Daly.
Got the lead runner. 6-4 there.
Rounding out the outfield. In left, junior Eli Platt. Center, Landon Iden. And in right field, senior Brady Bell.
Brock Daly.
Brock Daly is a senior. Almost a complete senior infield there.
There's that low outside pitch again.
Miller pumping that fastball low in the outside corner. Up to bat right now, number 3, the 4-hole hitter, Justin Hall, senior. Fouls that one back, the backstop. Miller gets ahead early, 0-2.
Dalen made a nice stop on the last play. Little ball he had to dive for, and able to flip it up to get that lead runner for the second out. Runner's going. Curveball kind of got away from Miller there a little bit. No throw down to second base. So we're sitting with a ball and 2 strikes, and Manchester Squires have a runner on second base with 2 outs.
You mentioned Dalen making a nice diving play. Dalen's one of those players that he leaves the ball game. His jersey is going to be dirty. I can count numerous times in practice, in the few varsity games, as Miller retires Justin Hall on a swinging strike. I can count numerous times where Dalen has laid out, always gives his full effort. He had this great play last year running in the outfield. This is in practice. And we had a scrimmage, just a great over-the-shoulder dive, incredible play.
Well, and those are the types of kids that, might not have all the athletic ability in the world, but they're going to make up for it with their guts.
Yep.
They're gonna give it everything they have out there on the field to make up for what they lack in that talent portion.
Dalen is definitely not one of those players that's a flashy player. He doesn't wear anything, doesn't wear any arm sleeves, doesn't wear any of the elbow or any of the pads.
The oven mitten, that one is the one that gets me when once you get on base and you put on that oven mitt to slide to make sure that you don't jam your fingers or get stepped on. Come on now.
Yep. He doesn't wear any of the special attire, doesn't even wear batting gloves. Definitely has the old school look. Defensively for the Squires, behind the plate, number 20, sophomore Peyton Jones. On the mound, freshman Talon Torpy. At first base, at number 16, Ethan Espesit. Second base, number 34, Ethan Hendricks. On the opposite side of the diamond, at third base, Justin Hall. At shortstop, we have number 18, Gavin Martin. Left field, we have Race Martin.
Yep.
Center,
Darson
there we go.
Bradley.
Darson Bradley. And then rounding out right field in the 9 position.
Hold on.
Be number 26. Darson Bradley's in right.
I need to get some clarification on that from the official bookkeeper, Mrs. Lori Bell.
Caleb Flock, number 30, is in center. And then number 4, Race Martin, is in left. The Squires are 0-3. They have not played any opponents that the Eagles have faced this year. They do face a handful of opponents as the Squires are in the TRC Three Rivers Conference, so they'll play Busco, Whitco. They played Warsaw as a non-conference opponent. They played DeKalb as well, as Oscillier watches the first pitch bounce for a ball. Eagles are coming off a fantastic road victory against Fort Wayne Concordia. Chris Bartol threw an absolute gem. Eagles win 4-3.
Catchers had the pitch hit his mitt, both pitches here in this inning, and hasn't caught either one of them. The umpire gave him a little grace here and called the second pitch a strike, even though he didn't catch it. But I don't know if it's just not hitting right in the pocket or what, but both of them banged right off of his mitt.
I'm sure if we get runners on the bases today, we will be aggressive.
I hope so.
Oscillier watches another one in the dirt, moves the count to 2-1.
The Concordia game was exciting, even from my couch on Game Changer. Yeah, you're up 4-0, and it's 4-2, and you're in the bottom of the 7th, and then it's 4-3, and you got the big dogs coming up for Concordia. And the next thing you know, you're intentionally walking the bases loaded. I'm like, oh no, this has got bad news written all over it. And the Eagles really stepped up. I mean, that game, I think any other year would have gone the other way.
100%. I was thinking about that last night. I joined on Game Changer just there in the bottom of the 7th, and the bases were loaded with, I think, 1 out, maybe, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And Oscillier draws the nice leadoff walk there. But yeah, bases loaded with 1 out, and I'm thinking, all right, this going to be just like the old times, or where is this going to be the turn? And they definitely turned it around there. Johnson had a solo home run, I believe, last night. Yeah. Bartol went the distance, had over 100 pitches.
Yeah, I think I was talking to Coach Bell last night at the JP game, and I think he said that Chris had 111 pitches. First pitch to Landon Idens in for a strike. Catcher actually caught this one. Must have things worked out there in his glove. But I got thinking of culture piece. And if that's where games like the Concordia game can go either way.
Yes.
Absolutely either way. And it's just, I mean, you can always say who wants it more, but I really think that the culture and belief in each other is starting to make a difference for this Eagles club. That 3 years ago, it wouldn't have been a one-run game. They'd have been out of it in the second or third inning. I mean, just people buying into the program and what they believe in, and we're starting to get some of the kids up here have participated in some pretty decent travel ball scenarios that are really starting to feed into the system right now. It's going to make the next 4 or 5 years fun.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit it around the head with the culture piece. Coach Bell got his first win, his first Columbia City Eagle head coach win against the Squires back in 2018. Go ahead, what were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say the hit and run was on here with Aiden and Nassalir. Aiden flipped one foul down over the visitors' dugout. So I think that Coach Bell is going to be aggressive here on the base path. He just kind of gave Julian the spread it out a little further, get a bigger lead first base. So hopefully we'll see some action here.
And you're looking at that, and I doubt we'll see this from Manchester, but Oscilier against the good teams, once that pitch comes in, he's sitting out there. He's kind of taking a little slow walk back first after the pitch is delivered, and a lot of teams, if they see that, they'll try to back pick. And
There he goes.
There he goes.
No throw.
I wonder if we do that, if they're going to try that, but that's something to keep an eye on. If we're going to be lazy getting back to the bases when we're at first base for those back picks. But back to last night's game, Bartol went the complete 2 nights.
Yeah.
Bartol went the complete distance. 7 innings, only had 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts, 3 walks. It's Aiden pokes one. Shallow center field as the second baseman camps under it. Sam Glad steps in.
First out of the game.
Bartol only had 3 walks. And we saw that, his control, his command with the strike zone. We saw that against Wawasee. Hopefully that is a good sign of consistency for Bartol.
That's 2 games back to back that he pitched really, really well. I'm glad for him. When he first joined the program, he was the wild card.
He was.
And I think he's really, really come in to accept his role and be a providing member for. Sam Glad takes the first pitch low and outside for ball 1. Last home game, Sam went deep. I can't remember who we were playing. Wawasee took one to right center field. Tonight, I'm gonna have to hit it pretty darn hard. The wind's blowing straight in from right field. If you don't know, Sam Glad is a power lefty hitter, and gonna pull one to right field. It's gonna go right into the headwind.
Sam Glad's hitting about 312 with a 500 on base percentage. He's drawn a good amount of walks. His teams are going to pitch on the corners to Sam. They don't want to leave anything over the middle of the plate. As we mentioned earlier, he does have a lot of power. Power lefty. Broke the school record for doubles last year in a single season.
He's sitting at 3-0 right now. That last pitch was in the dirt. The catcher did a nice job of keeping in front of him, kept Aiden at second base. Kept Oscilier at second base. Might have been able to had a better read on that ball. Third, but there we go. Had the green light on 3-0. Sam Glad with a little dribbler. Foot race down to first base. First baseman beat there. So that was a unassisted play by their first baseman for the second out.
Sophomore Brady Schrader steps in. Schrader had the first big hit. Well, it was the first hit, but it was a big hit against Warsaw last week that kind of starts him a little bit of a rally as we got into a 10-0 hole early on last Friday. Schrader has a lot of power from the right side of the plate.
He's just a strong kid. take that first pitch for a strike. Just he's tall, he's strong, he's thick, working out all the times. I'm hoping all that time in the week is paying off for him. It looks like it is.
Yes.
The way he woke up.
When you would know, your son and him are pretty good friends. You've seen him grow up.
Yep. When he was little. So we're sitting here in the bottom of the first inning. There for the Eagles. We have a runner in scoring position at third base, and lastly, Brady Schrader's up to bat. Took an inside pitch there. Ooh, the umpire was thinking about that one. Brady's sitting at 2 balls and a strike.
On deck, senior Aiden Miller. Schrader takes a big cut.
So breaking ball there.
Looked like
Kind
it.
of broke to the outside. Broke away from Brady as a right-handed batter. Sitting at 2s here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch. Brady takes ball inside. Just kind of squibbles away from the catcher. Not far enough for Oscillier.
He was thinking about it.
He was thinking about it, but 90 feet, ball, and when the ball's right.
Moves it to full count. 2 outs here. Just need a nice single base hit, or an error would work. Schrader fouls it straight back over the press box. JV had a nice win last night against Wawasee.
I'll tell you what, and we'll talk about this here at the inning break. We're going to go back to that culture conversation when it comes to the JV game last night. Schrader takes ball 4 high.
There we go.
Put Eagles at the corners for senior pitcher Aiden Miller. Chance to help his own cause here a little bit as the starting pitcher.
Probably won't see. Watch Coach Bell give Miller the signs here.
Watch that. I was watching the Squires catcher give his infield the signs for their first and third situation here. What do you think they're going to do?
I doubt we will see anything here with 2 outs. I don't think.
Well, Brady's not a stealing threat
That's
either.
right. That's right. I mentioned that in the last broadcast. Is almost looked like a little pitch out there, high and outside. Not the fastest runner, but he is smart on the base pass. He's baseball savvy. He's gonna take the good routes.
Yeah, Miller is going to have to hit this ball a long way to score Brady, though. just saying.
He is. He's gonna have to put one in the gap, which we've seen Miller do. Miller has some good power. He's got some underrated power. I don't believe he's had a home run in his varsity career, but he definitely does have power.
That surprises me. I didn't realize.
I don't
that.
think he
figured he'd
does. If I remember correctly, I want to say he may have had one his freshman year on JV. It wouldn't surprise me if he did, but I don't think he had a homer last year. I'm pretty sure the only home runs we had last year were Sam Glad and Dalen Johnson.
Gotcha. Miller takes a 3-0 count. Just had another outside pitch, but the umpire's been consistent about that. Was that low outside pitch? Aiden thought it was going to be ball 4, but now we're sitting at 3-0. It's going, and we get ball 4. So we load the bases.
That brings up
Big cookie.
Dalen Johnson. Had a home run 2 nights ago. He also had the big go-ahead home run a year ago at Manchester.
It's interesting to me because you look at Dalen and his physique, and you don't necessarily think, man, there's your home run hitter on the team, but that boy's got some pop in the bat.
He does. Yep, he
Get a courtesy runner in the way of James Getz for Aiden Miller so he can get focused and ready to go back out on the mound. James is another kid. He and Dalen Johnson together, neither one of them are going to leave with a clean uniform.
No, they're not.
Ever.
And Getz has got to be careful.
Dalen fouls that first pitch off.
Getz doesn't want to, if there's a ball in the gap, Getz doesn't want to overrun Schrader. Getz has a lot of speed there. If we see a ball in the gap here, and Getz is aggressive.
Yep.
He's an aggressive player, aggressive runner.
Right. If you look, check out. You can see he gets his lead off. He's about 30 feet.
Big lead.
About a third of the way there. He doesn't have a whole lot to go to. Or if the catcher would have caught that ball, that would have been strike 2. But the Squires catcher's having a hard time holding on to the pitch. That one dropped out as well. So we're sitting at 1-1 here.
And they list 2 catchers on the program.
There
It's
it is.
Johnson rockets one. Lucky
Right
stab.
to the shortstop, man. He didn't have to move a lick, but he got it. Johnson had good contact there. Just happened to be right at their shortstop.
Nothing you can do there. Squared it up.
So for the Eagles in the bottom half of the first inning, they had no runs on no hits and 3 walks, 3 left on base. So after 1, we're sitting at 0-0. Go back to last night's JV game and culture conversation. JV team played Wawasee, and last year at Wawasee, JV lost a nail biter there. I mean, they had the opportunity to win that game, and they didn't get it done. And then Wawasee comes out in the first inning last night in the top of the first and puts up a 5 spot. And so, I mean, it would have been really, really easy for those boys to just curl up and be done, and they didn't. And they got blanked in the first, so it was 5-0 going into the second inning, and then the Eagles put up 5 in the second, tied it up, and never looked back. I'm sorry, I checked that. They put up 7 in the second. I remember now. We batted 2 lineup there. And then, so then it was just a whole new ball game. I was really, really proud of them that they didn't. I mean, man, down 5 runs, it'd be say, let's pack it up and go home.
And that is exactly what would have happened in the first couple of years of Coach Bell.
Ooh, leadoff shot right down the left field line. Eli Platt's out there to snag it to hold the Squires leadoff batter to a single. Pesset, is that how you say his name?
Yes. If you would have said it any differently, I would have said yes.
You would have said yes again?
Yep.
Yeah. I always get afraid that I'm going to botch people's names. Probably do. Block up to bat here for the Squires. There's that sweet spot right there, that low outside pitch that the umpire likes for strike 1.
Coach Daly's done a great job of creating that culture that Coach Bell and him have been trying to instill over the past 6 years as Johnson ties him up there inside on a beautiful pitch. It's ahead 0-2.
That was, I think if he would have made contact with that, it would have been right off the hand. Would have maybe off the knuckles.
That would have stung the hands for sure.
Absolutely. Takes ball 1 high there, so we're sitting at a ball and 2 strikes. Squires have a runner on first base with nobody out. Pitch low and outside, just a little too far low, far outside for the umpire's sweet spot there. Count sitting at 2-2. The runner at first base takes his not a very threatening lead. Doesn't appear like he's going to take off. Sam Glad had just a little trouble handling that ball, but the runner just kind of headed on back to first base there. So now we're at a full count.
Infields and Brock Days over there at double play depth. Had a double play ball opportunity earlier and sets him down. Can I help you, sir? No thanks. I'm just looking.
That's right. Coach Daly line.
Coach Daly line. You can tell I've been under him for the past 6 years.
Grace Martin coming to bat for the Manchester Squires. 1 out. Runner at first base. Miller delivers. Works ahead in the count. Strike 1. Grace looked at that one. That was a strike.
Mentioned earlier, our umpire behind the plate. We have a nice treat for us. Excellent umpire behind the plate, always consistent.
Well, yeah, there was a be some good history there.
We've got a little replay going on in the live stream. Again, you can reminder this crew here. Every game they're adding something new. They're expanding with replay opportunities. We got cameras over there on the third base side as their shows bunt
and fouls it off for strike 2.
Got a camera over here by the press box to get you behind the plate view. I know the future plans, John Peters was telling me they want to get some cameras, some sound cameras on the field so that our audience can hear what's happening on the field like you do in a regular broadcast for professional game, as Miller sets another one down on strikes, second out.
Dorson Bradley stepping up for the Squires now. 2 outs. They've got their leadoff runner at first base still. Haven't been able to advance him. Oh, he just... I was always taught that on a foul ball, if it comes straight back, that they just miss by meters.
Okay.
That they were right on it. It was just off the center of the ball. So that first pitch, foul ball straight back into the fence. Miller gives the Squires runner at first base a little check. Brings him back to first. Up and dusted off now. Miller deals, ball inside for 1-1.
Wind's blowing in tonight. Lights are on. Miller deals for strike 2. As he's in another strikeout opportunity. Set the Squires down here in the top of the second. Runner at first gets his lead. Ooh.
Mr. Ambrose, if we had somebody who wanted to listen to the game on YouTube,
yes,
what do they need to search?
Well, if you go to YouTube and you search WJHS Studios.
WJHS, the call letters. Miller sits down. The last batter had a few words there with the umpire about.
He's shaking his head down there
about that strike call.
I wasn't looking. Was that outside, inside?
I was busy helping with getting people. It was low outside in that low outside spot again. Yep, it was in the. He's consistent about it, man. It's not like that was the first time they've seen it. Miller struck out the side there. The leadoff hitter had a nice single to first base, and then Miller went 1, 2, 3 strikeouts for the next 3 batters. So the Squires strand one at first on 1 hit, no runs.
Definitely a different outing start off for Aid Miller versus a week ago. Now he's facing a different program.
Different caliber team. And that's an honest conversation, too. I mean, I'm sorry, you can't take a school like even Columbia City, but I mean Manchester's even smaller than Columbia City, and put them in the same category as Carroll.
Right,
I mean,
right.
Shoot, the kids on Carroll's JV team would be varsity on a lot of other programs.
They would be.
There's a lot of kids to pick from, and I'm sure there's some great talent there that even got cut or just rides the bench even.
And that's what kind of happened with Ish with Julian Oscilier coming over from Homestead.
Hey, we'll take it.
Yep, we will. Absolutely. Yep. Great kid, great character, great talent. He's going to be playing junior baseball at Kankakee Community College, I believe.
In Illinois. Yeah, a little JUCO time.
You mentioned Carroll. We played Carroll on Tuesday. That game lost 10-0. That was a rough game for our pitching staff as 8 walks, It's hard to win a game
That's
against
tough.
a team like Carroll if you're going to give up free passes. And,
Right, it's hard to win the game against Carroll, period.
Yes.
Now, when you throw 8 free passes in there, that's nearly impossible.
I don't know, did you travel to that game?
I did not go.
I was talking to Coach Bell Wednesday morning when I went to school, and just talking to him about it, and said, "Look like you guys. I mean, other than you had multiple opportunities in the first or second inning where you could have got a double play ball. If you again, I think we walked the bases loaded. We walked multiple runs in. Very easily could have been a different ball game. I know we had some runners in scoring position, so not saying that we would have won that game, but it very well could have been a more competitive game from the Eagles, and unfortunately, it just didn't happen that way. But here we are. They bounced back the following night with a great win, like we mentioned earlier, against Concordia with a 4-3 win. They had bases loaded in the bottom of the seventh with one out, and Bartol and the defense just did a great job at shutting them down. As Kreider steps in and gets ahead, 2-1 as the first 2 pitches were balls, and here we are, another strike.
Yeah, that third pitch found the spot that the umpire likes, that low and outside on the right-handed pitchers.
Another ball goes in the dirt.
Did you see where the catcher caught that? I want to see that. Can we have a replay?
Let's see if we can
of
get a
what just
replay.
happened? But I swear that the pitch brought his glove back to his ribs on the side.
Kreider
pokes one here.
As the left fielder's gonna camp under it.
Yep. The what we saw last night with the wind, it just, that was right at the left fielder. Then he ended up having to take five or six steps right there at the end to make sure he was underneath it. You get up here on this flat, up at the top of the hill here, and the wind is just vicious.
Off the bat, I kind of thought, oh man, that might.
That had a little chance there.
It did. Junior Eli Platt steps in, watches one high and inside for ball 1. And, help me out here. So it looks like the second base and shortstop are just their heels are touching the grass. It almost looks like they're
playing deep, keep the ball in front of them, huh? And the shortstop has a habit here, though. He might put his heels there to start, but then he's got step.
A little right, left, top.
A little bit, yep, to be ready and in defensive position. In case the ball gets put in play there. Step, hop. There he goes. Eli takes a big cut here and fouls one off over the press box. He's sitting at 2 balls and a strike. Eagles have 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Devin Kreider led off with we'll call it a noisy out to left field.
Platt's got some recent starts. He started the other night against Concordia.
Platt with a little dribbler to third base, and third baseman mishandles it. Got a little excited about Platt's speed there and looked up to make the throw before he had the ball in his mitt, and it just went underneath it.
Platt batting about 167 here. I think this is his second or third start. I can't remember if Concordia was his first start or not.
Or when did Ben come out? Ben Q. Michael with a little
Did he come
bicep
out?
tweak.
Was that mid-game?
Was it at Concordia or was it at Carroll?
Well, I don't know. I want to say it was.
I think it's been 2 games now.
Okay, so it's Carroll.
I think so.
Daly.
Daly lays down a perfect textbook bunt.
Platt's going to third.
We're in trouble here, folks. Okay, so a little recap of what just happened here. Eli Platt had reached first base on an error by the third baseman. Brock Daly came up, put down a beautiful bunt down the first base line, and Platt had gone to second and then kept going and tried to stretch it into third base, and it didn't happen. The first baseman threw right on over to third base, and they were sitting there waiting for him.
Now, as Brock Daly, he almost got caught looking there. As that was a quicker move, he would have been toast. And Brock Daly gets on base. Got good speed. We're at the top of the order here. As Oscilier skies one. It's coming back into foul territory.
Oh.
And he gets new life.
I'll say it again. the ball bounced off the catcher's mitt.
Yeah.
He's having a night. He's
is.
having a tough night here. And look, I'm not taking anything away from that. That it's hard for a catcher to go from trying to catch a pitch to turn around, find a pop up, get underneath it. The wind blowing the way it is, you get all twisted around.
Counts at 0-1. Daly takes off. The throw is high.
Safe at second. So Julian's at, what do we have here? 1-1.
Counts at 1-1. We got 2 outs here. Runner in scoring position.
Oscillator walked his first time up to bat.
Oscillator's got the, I don't know what the technical term is, we talked about it earlier with the accessories. He has the glove to put on his hands. He shoots one in the gap and going to stay up.
Oh, but here
infield,
comes,
and that drops in front of him.
I'm telling you, the wind out here is something fierce tonight. And I want to point out one thing that just happened right there. Look, that for you folks that are in YouTube land, that was a routine fly ball. Julian could have very easily just jogged to first base thinking that was going to be the third out, and he didn't. He hoofed that out, kept running, and he's standing on second base right now with Landon Iden coming up to bat. So he does get credited with a double there. No one ever touched that ball, so it's not like there was an error involved. But, again, learning to play the wind up here is tough. Cool.
We'll see if the Eagles and Squires outfield can adjust here as like an off-speed pitch comes in just a bit high. As I'm sure the Eagles outfield's taking note there this inning is we've had 2 fly balls to left that have looked like they're going to be deep, and then, as you said, that wind just pushes them back in.
Yep.
Oscillator gets his 2-out lead at second.
Ball on a strike here on Iden.
Counts at 1-1. The Eagles, Brock Daly scored the first run for the Eagles.
Oh, a little throwback at second. Oscillator slides back in safe. Iden's first time up, he had a little short fly ball into right center field, and the second baseman went out and caught it. Takes a ball high here. 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs for the Eagles here in the bottom of the second. 1 run across the plate already. Threatening for another.
Iden's got good speed. He's going to hustle it out. Throws in the dirt.
But the first baseman made a heck of a play there. Iden goes, couldn't quite beat that one out. Ground out to the shortstops for a little 6-3 right there for the third out of the inning. The bottom of the second, the Eagles score on 2 hits, 1 run, 1 left on base.
Yep,
there was 1 error in there too. I forgot about that. The little error by the E5 there. Yep.
Looking at the upcoming schedule for the Eagles, again, this week was their busy week. They did get Monday versus Busco canceled. They were going to have 6 games in 6 days, but they have doubleheader at West Noble tomorrow, which last year they did sweep that doubleheader. West Noble in the past has not been a super. They've not been as high of a caliber program as some of the other teams that we faced on our schedule. So we face West Noble doubleheader tomorrow, and then it's a little bit of a slower week for the Eagles. Tuesdays at Belmont, Thursdays at Huntington North, and then a doubleheader versus Northfield. So less games, but more competitive programs going into next week.
Counts 1 and 2. Oh, there it is. That's right.
Beautiful pitch right on that outside corner. He can live out there all day.
That's exactly right. First Squire down on called strikes. Leadoff hitter for the Squires, Ethan Hendricks, steps into the box. He grounded out to Oscillator to start the game. Takes first pitch strike right on that low outside corner. Going to be the common theme, I think. Aiden's got that figured out and that spot dialed in. stay right there. Little ground ball, sharply hit second base. Johnson took care of business right there with the 4-3. Sorry, that was Brock Daly. For the second out.
Brock Daly's been a staple out there at second base with the glove.
He fits the role of the second baseman.
Yes,
It's the little guy.
Yep.
It's the little guy that's at second base. You know, you're not going to have a flashy bat, anything like that. What's going to be flashy is your glove.
Yep, glove. You can put down the bunt, have some good speed, like you said.
Other than the catcher, the no glory position right there, second base.
Absolutely. Brock Daly played some hockey as well.
Really?
He does. Yep, that surprised me too when I found that out a couple years ago.
I have an ice skating story that involves myself and some Amish people. That we were at downtown in Fort Wayne at the outside rink, and I have absolutely no ability on ice skates, none whatsoever. So they've got the little PVC pipe training wheels type of thing, So here I am pushing myself around the little sharp hit ball to shortstop. Dalen just couldn't quite handle that. So little E6 right there puts Gavin Martin on first base for the Squires here with 2 outs in the top of the third. But so I'm pushing myself around on this PVC cart at the ice rink in downtown Fort Wayne, and there's a whole family of Amish folks there, and they can skate Nancy Kerrigan, man. I mean, they just laps around me backwards, and I mean triple axles, not quite triple axles, but I mean made me look a fool.
That's not what you would expect from someone from that lifestyle.
They were fabulous.
Interesting.
Yes, it was great. Absolutely wonderful to watch.
Skating is one of those things that I wish I was good at. I've only skated a few times, and I would say I'm just like you. I don't have not even close to mastering it whatsoever.
I do the Frankenstein, where walking around with your arms all flailing out all over the place. Aiden's behind an account here on the batter 3-0 right now. We're looking at the Squires' 3-hole hitter, Sights.
Sights has an open stance. Big leg kick there as he draws a 4-pitch walk, and the Squires now have a runner in scoring position.
First and second, 2 outs here, and you get your cleanup hitter coming up, your number 4 spot.
And it feels like this game is almost kind of, again, you come into this game, you got to be careful if you're Columbia City, because this is a program that you feel that you should beat. And you got to be careful because even though we are up 1-0, it's based on anything can happen. This can get away from them pretty quickly. You can't take any pitches off here.
Miller starts off this at bat far better than the last one. First pitch strike here instead of the 4 straight balls.
And you mentioned it earlier about the wind. Looks like Eli Platt's there in left field. Looks like he's shallower than normal, as a sharp ground ball goes to Johnson at second or at short, and he puts some easy there across the diamond.
Why the Squires threaten, nothing to show for it here in the top of the third, so they go down. They had reached on an error and 1 walk, so 2 left on base, no runs, no hits. We'll go to the bottom of the third with Eagles up 1-0.
And we're going to take a quick break here for some technical troubleshooting with the broadcast. We'll see you back in hopefully a short second. And welcome back to the broadcast. Thank you for sticking with us with some troubleshooting.
You're listening to 91.5 FM WJHS, high school radio station out of Columbia City, Indiana. Sam Glad, the big, hard-hitting left-hander for the Eagles up to bat. Leadoff hitter for the Eagles here in the bottom of the third inning. Big cut right there. Takes a strike. Count sitting at 2-1 right now. Oh, holy smokes, folks. We talked a whole bunch about Sam would have to hit that ball a long ways and awful hard for it to go out with the wind blowing in. And that was what we'll call a noisy strike.
That was a noisy strike indeed.
Just a little foul. I think he hit it over the fence, though, didn't he?
I didn't see it.
I don't see anybody running out to the in foul territory to pick it up. Yep. So he hit it over the fence. It was just foul. He got a lot of that one. Just a little too inside. Turned too hard on it.
And I'm sure
ball 3 outside, full count.
I'm sure he's going to try and they're going to try and live outside with that. As again, you don't want to give Sam the chance to get extended on those inside pitches.
Oh yeah, he'll make you pay for it. That's for sure. Sam takes ball 4 in the dirt. Leadoff batter is on for the Eagles. And then do we get a courtesy runner for Sam, or does he run for himself?
I bet you he runs for himself here. Sam's got some pretty good speed. Coach Bell gives his signs there.
Big stick up to bat here with Brady Schrader, sophomore. Sam's got a pretty decent lead off here at first. I could see, Brady swinging at the first pitch. Pulls one foul down the third base line. Behind in the count, 0-1 here.
Wonder if we're going to see a hit and run here.
Maybe it was not on right there. Sam was definitely not stealing. He had waited until Brady had hit the ball here.
Sam's got good speed. Brady's got good control of the bat.
There we go, ball outside. The Brady was showing bunt there a little bit at the end. I could see that just to confuse people a little bit. I don't think you're going to have Brady bunt very often.
We might see that again here.
Counts 1-1. Leadoff hitter and Sam Glad on first base.
Again, Schrader's not the fastest player, but if he can put a nice bunt down.
Here it is. Here it is.
And it hit him right
off the. He's going to be out. Yep. Brady put down the bunt, and it bounced right up and hit him once he was out of the batter's box, so he's automatically out there. In a situation like that, Mr. Ambrose, do you know who gets credit for the putout?
I do not. Help us out here.
My understanding is that it is the closest defensive player to the situation, so the catcher gets the putout in that situation.
Interesting. I would imagine most of the time that would be the catcher that gets that credit for the out on a bunt there as Miller
high fly
skies
ball.
It. And Sam
Yep.
And that was great base running by Sam.
Okay, folks, hold the ball.
Now, did that touch his...
So the right fielder has an error on Miller here. So that was an E9. Again, the wind is just playing havoc out there with that baseball. Miller skied one in the air, and the right fielder came in to get it and bounced off the heel of the palm of his glove. And then in the meantime, Sam Glad can only go halfway because he's at first, so he's going to have to, go back if he catches it. And then when the right fielder dropped it, Sam had to take off for second. Well, it was just going to be a force out. So the right fielder picked up the ball, threw it to shortstop who was covering second base, and it was a bad throw. So dust is settled. There's runners at first and second. One out, and Dalen Johnson takes the first pitch strike.
Getz comes in a courtesy run at first base. And again, we saw Platt playing shallow left because of the wind. The Squires left fielder is not matching that.
No, he's another.
Ooh. And the back pick is unsuccessful, but it's close there to try and get Getz at first.
That was pretty close.
Squires are keeping it close here through 2.5.
James is pretty thankful that he made that back too. He'd have gotten an earful from Coach Bell on that one.
His courtesy running days might have been cut short there.
There we go.
Sam's going to round.
Come on in. There we go.
And Johnson grabs another RBI.
It's an RBI single there.
Like I said, another RBI. He did not grab the first RBI. He grabbed another RBI from the other night.
Number 23, Devin Kreider.
Dalen hit. Sam was able to score from second base there. The shortstop had kind of cheated over a little bit towards second base to cover if there was going to be a throwback from the pitcher, and Dalen was able to just push that ball right in between the third baseman and the shortstop there, and Sam took off, and there was no stopping him. Devin Kreider up to bat here, big right-hander, flew out to left field his first at bat. If you're just joining us, we're in the bottom of the third inning. The Eagles are up 2-0, threatening to score some more here in the bottom of the third. Runners at first and second, one out. Devin Kreider up to bat.
Third baseman playing just on the lip of the grass.
Kreider takes a ball low and outside.
Gets a sign from Coach Bell. First baseman's playing a couple steps away from the grass. Count goes to 3-0.
I think the count's 2-1. What's the count, Lori? You got 3. I don't know what I'm doing then. 3-0. We'll take 3-0. I like it.
Get runners at second and first. As Kreider
takes that.
Looked a little bit of a delayed strike there.
Right out there in that low corner. Should know better. Getz has got a huge lead at first base. Kreider draws the walk. Load the bases for the Eagles here in the bottom of the third.
Number 7, the left fielder, junior Eli Platt, steps in.
Can go take a little breather here. We're going to have a little chat. The Squires coach is headed out to the bump, bringing in the infield to figure out what they're going to do here with this bases loaded situation in the bottom of the third. The Eagles led off with a walk to Sam Glad. And then Brady Schrader came up and had tried to sacrifice bunt and got tangled up with that baseball and ended up touching it in fair territory. So Brady was out and Sam was stuck at first base there. Next at bat was Aiden Miller. And Aiden skied one to right field that the right fielder had some trouble handling, and that put Aiden at first. And after some throwing the ball around the infield, Sam Glad was at second base. And then Getz came in to run for Miller so that he could come back and stay warm before he goes out on the mound again. Dalen Johnson followed up with a single, RBI single that scored Glad from second base, and that moved Getz to second. And then Kreider came up, walked to load the bases. So we've got Getz at third, Dalen Johnson at second, Kreider's at first base, and junior Eli Platt stepping to the plate here.
Got a big opportunity here to grab some ribbies for his ball club. Shows bunt.
Oh, he puts it down. Oh, come on. Just foul. Inches. Pitcher ran over and touched that ball as soon as he could, so it didn't have a chance to come back fair.
You know, this is the 5 years ago, we wouldn't have seen the aggressiveness that we've seen this year from the Eagles and Coach Bell with different situations. You know, again, some suicide squeeze.
Bunting with the bases loaded.
Right. And that's one of the things that Coach Daly has really brought to the program as the corners are in here, as Platt swings and misses, is
I think the umpire stopped that one.
Yeah, he did. I saw him. I'm like, what? That doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think the catcher ever touched that ball.
Whew.
So Platt's behind in the count 0-2. Just missed a sweet, sweet bunt. Just rolled foul. And, you know, it's not very often that you bunt with the bases loaded, but the speed with Platt up to bat and gets at third base, you can pull that off. Platt takes a ball in the dirt. Catcher spins around, try to find it. Kept it in front of him. Count sitting at a ball and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Eagles have 1 run across the plate so far this inning. And threatening with some more here. The base is juiced for Eli Platt. Platt steps in, little defensive swing here, and pops out foul to the first baseman for the Squires.
Come down to the senior Brock Daly with bases loaded and 2 outs, looking for some 2-out magic.
Brock had a low base hit. His last at bat. Scored a run. Scored our first run.
Dropped down a beautiful bunt. But saying earlier, Coach Daly's really brought an offense to this program, and Coach Bell has been, adopting that. And again, really have seen that from the JV side as Daly watches the ball.
I can attest to that. My oldest son, Ethan, in his 2nd year under Coach Daly on the JV squad. And Brock Daly called strike 1 here, so count sitting at 1-1. And Ethan loves to talk baseball with Coach Daly. I mean, just the strategy, the 2 of them talking baseball back and forth. It's been really good for Ethan.
Shot up
Daly
the middle.
puts a shot up the middle. The shortstop makes a heck of a play right there and flips the ball to the second baseman for the 3rd out. That was pretty sweet play right there.
That was. We'll see if we can maybe get a replay on that. As Brock Daly, and that's what you're supposed to do. You put it up the middle, and it's just a nice play there by the shortstop. Wondered there for a second if the field umpire was going to say he pulled his foot, but he did not.
Yep. The Squires were able to keep the floodgates closed there. The Eagles had a chance to really do some damage. They were able to put 1 run across on 1 hit, reached on an error and 1 walk. The Eagles strand 3 innings complete. Eagles up 2-0.
And again, we were talking about the offense that Coach Daly has really brought to this Eagles program. You know, being under him for 5 years at the JV level, and you said your son loves talking baseball with him. And you know, Coach Daly has an awesome baseball mind. He'll forget more about baseball than I'll ever know in baseball. But the past couple years, just watching that offense and learning the different situations, and hopefully, I shouldn't say hopefully, at some point you will see Coach Daly as a varsity head coach somewhere. Maybe it's with the Eagles, maybe it's not, but somewhere you'll see Coach Daly as a varsity head coach somewhere.
Well, and not to sound condescending in any way, shape, or form, but he's ready.
He is.
He's really matured and has had to deal with some uncomfortable situations that young coaches aren't always experienced with, and he's got some of those under his belt now. The knowledge is not an issue at all. I mean, his baseball knowledge is rock solid. So working on those people relationships and things, some of the softer parts of coaching, whatever sport, it doesn't even have to be baseball. I think he's ready.
Yeah. You'll see if you ever come to the Eagles and watch a JV game, or again, probably as the season goes on, you'll see if there's. I know Coach Daly loves to run a situation where if we have a runner at third, and if you just have a runner at third and the batter walks, he loves running the play where the runner will then run to round first and go to second. We'll try and steal the run from third. You'll see pickoff steals, box steals, just a very aggressive offense on the halves to really test some of the defenses, which really will work against some of those programs that aren't at that high caliber level, or can catch some teams off balance every now and then. as Miller starts the top of the fourth with a strike. We were talking before the broadcast, Rochelle, just some regular good old Major League Baseball, some milestones. Miguel Cabrera, one hit away from 3,000 as the check swing. He did go around.
Yeah, I was just checking my MLB app, and the Tigers have postponed their game this evening because of rain against the Rockies. The Tigers are home. I'll stop right here. Aiden deals strike 3 to the Squires leadoff batter, so sits down that first batter. Cody Flock coming up to bat here for the Squires. He struck out Watson his first at bat. Yeah, back to Miggy. He was 3 for 4 on Wednesday night, sitting at. Oh, hold on, sorry. Here the Flock for the Squires squared the bunt and popped it up, and Sam Glad made easy work of that.
Number 4.
So 2 up, 2 down here for the Squires. Now Race Martin steps in. But, yeah, so those 3 hits put Miggy at how many?
2,999.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, I was drawing a blank on that. And then struck out his last at bat on Wednesday, and then on Thursday the Yankees wouldn't pitch to him. They intentionally walked him, which I don't know. I feel depends on the situation. They're going to get booed for that one. But I'm really hopeful that Miggy will get his 3,000th hit at home. They are at home all weekend, so hopefully he'll be able to bang one out. If ball hit to shortstop here, backhands it, long throw. Ooh.
Let's get a replay. Yep, we're gonna get a replay here.
Angel Fernandez.
Yeah. We're gonna get a replay here.
Let's see what we got.
And
oh, there was too much action right there.
That's
We'll
just a
call it safe.
bang
Runner
play.
wins in a tie.
Yeah.
How's that? So we'll take an infield single on that for Race Martin. And Darson Bradley comes to bat in the top of the fourth for the Squires. 2 outs.
we were talking about the culture piece a lot. Back to Miggy, I saw just a thing on social media that said, he didn't care about getting walked. It was, we won. That's all that
Runner's
matters.
going. Hit and run is on. Right up the middle.
And that worked.
And Dalen makes, Dalen
2
does
outs.
his job.
Make 3.
Little 6-3 to first base there to end the inning. Squires bring up 4 to the plate. Leave 1 run stranded on 1 hit. No runs, no errors. And we head to the bottom of the 4th. If Miggy's next hit can be a double, that'll also make 600 doubles.
Oh, really?
He's sitting at 599 on the doubles. We were talking, Ethan and I were the other day, and my dad, that, Miggy's got a career over 300 batting average for his career, over 500 home runs, and he's going to get his 3,000th hit. I mean, that's a sure ticket to Cooperstown.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Do you think it's a sure ticket? Any 2 of those 3, career 300 hitter and over 500 home runs. Is that enough without 3,000 hits?
I would say so. I think it would be from the point of probably the old school mentality. I wonder if as it goes on, if more players getting that, if that does start to change, because that used to be like right. I always thought it was, man, if you get 3,000 hits or 500 home runs, regardless of your average, you're in. I don't think that's the same thing anymore. But I would say if you get one of those 2 or 2 of those, three, you're probably in. As this goes on, I don't know if that will always be the case.
That was the argument I made too. Any 2 of those 3 right now will get you in.
Yeah.
Leading off the bottom of the 4th inning, top of the lineup for our Columbia City Eagles, Julian Oscilier stepping in. Julian's had a good day at the plate here so far. He worked a full count walk in his first at bat. His second at bat, he banged out a double here, and he's
Number 2.
fouled off the first pitch here of his at bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. So behind in the count, 0-1. Eagles are up 2-0 against the Manchester Squires. Julian digs in the box, swings, sharply hit to shortstop. Shortstop bobbles the ball a little bit, but he made a play. The shortstop made a good play to first base, and I think Julian might have been out on that one, but the umpire called him safe.
We'll see if we can get a potential replay there.
So we're gonna score that E6.
And we should see a replay here in just a second. We'll get the call to New York.
Right? See what they say. Landon Iden steps in the box. Wind up delivery. Landon swinging hard on that first pitch. He skies one into short left center field.
Oh, they're going to collide.
Oh, they sure did. You called on Mr. Ambrose. The left fielder and the center fielder did not communicate well. You saw that one coming, man. I'm happy they're both up and walking, because that was a pretty serious hit against one another. I'm gonna give that an E7. It was his ball to catch. The center fielder kind of got in the way there a little bit. I'm gonna go E7 on that. So back-to-back errors to start the inning for the Squires here. So Julian Oscillier's at second base. He reached on a hard hit ground ball to the shortstop that got bobbled, and then followed up by Landon Iden, who skied one into left center field, and the two outfielders collided. Brings up the hard-hitting left-hander Sam Glad, who ropes one off the second baseman's diving glove. Julian's in. Iden standing on third base. I'm going to look down to Lori Bell for the official count here, giving that a base hit to Sam Glad. The second baseman every attempt that he could at that. If he would have made that play, that would have said Javi.
Number 18.
So we'll give Sam Glad a single right there on that one.
I want to know
and an RBI.
I want the exit velo on that shot
on
that he had.
Right.
He can't square it up more than he did there.
He did. He got all of that one.
Runners at first and third here. We got nobody out. We'll see if there's any type of play here that Coach Bell puts on with Schrader up at the plate.
Eagles are threatening to score again here. Seems to be the common theme. We've left the bases loaded in the first and the third innings, which I know that's a big pet peeve. But we're pounding. We're getting them on. We're forcing errors here. We're going to take advantage of this. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. One run's already in. Runners at first and third. Brady Schrader digs in. Steal is on from first to second, is safe, and then Landon Iden picks up baseball there, goes ahead and trots in from third to home. So now Iden's in for another run for the Eagles. Sam Glad safe at second base, and Brady Schrader heading the count.
We got nobody out. Great chance for the Eagles to put this one away early.
Brady holds his swing there for ball two.
Nobody warming up down there in the Squires bullpen.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Brady Schrader here. Eagles are up 4-0. 2 runs are already in here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Nobody out. Landon Iden with some good speed on second base. I'm guessing if Brady Schrader can get a ball into the outfield here, well, Brady's going to go swinging. Had to swing at that one. He was going to get called out if he didn't swing at that one. So it would take one out there. But what I was saying, Landon's got enough speed out there at second base. If we can get a base hit into the outfield, he should score.
Yeah, those outfielders still aren't. Again, I don't know what it's going to take for them to catch on, because every fly ball that we've hit has been shallow. And
they could all stand to take about 6 steps towards home plate and be okay.
That wind has not changed. It's still blowing in.
Well, and also a lot to be said about okay, go ahead and beat me by hitting it over my head.
Right.
You know, I mean, you earn it if you can do that, and especially today with the way the wind's blowing in. Aiden takes a ball outside. He's sitting at a ball and a strike here. Pitcher winds up for the Squires, looks back, runner's going, and hit and run is on, baby. There we go. Miller laces a nice hit into left center field, scoring Iden easily because they were off on the hit and run.
Eagles.
Miller at first base.
Eagles put up their third run of the inning. Getz will come in to once again courtesy run for Miller.
James Getz.
Gets a little fist bump there from Miller on his way back to the dugout.
I'm sure we'll see Getz moving here at some point in this at-bat.
Be silly not to.
I'd say he's probably has, if he doesn't, he is one of the fastest runners on this Eagles team.
Yes. Absolutely. The, Getz taking a conservative lead for himself there at first base.
He was almost picked off the last time he was on.
Right. Dalen watches the first pitch for a ball. 3 runs in here in the bottom of the 4th for the Eagles. 1 out. Runner at first base. Johnson up to bat. Hit and run is on, and he fouls one off to the first base side. Getz trots on back to first base.
Looks like the Lady Eagles are already done for the evening.
I think it was the JV girls tonight.
The JV girls tonight?
I think so.
We'll see if we can check our social media.
I thought I saw one of the varsity girls' parents here watching this game, and so I couldn't imagine them coming over here to watch this one and not watching her daughter. Getz is gone, baby. He is safe at second with no threat. The catcher got a little tangled up there and ended up on one knee. I think the ball kind of twisted him a little bit there.
Garrett Seitz is having a little rough afternoon behind the plate today.
2 balls and a strike on Dalen Johnson. Jimmy Getz standing at second base.
I'm sure any base hit will score Getz.
Unless there's some kind of fluke or little bloop or something where he's got to hold up for a second. I'm going to say you're right on that one. There we go. Dalen gets jammed. Foul ball.
Ooh, just by a couple inches there. Almost right over the bag at third base.
One of the guys in the Eagle dugout running out to fetch that foul ball to keep the game moving.
For listeners, if you haven't yet done so, please hit that subscribe button on the WJHS YouTube channel. We're at 324 subscribers. I remember, not quite a month ago, we were at about 290-something subscribers, and we're at 324, so please hit that subscribe button as Johnson goes down swinging. And that brings up the first baseman, junior, number 23, Devin Kreider.
Number 23, Devin Kreider.
Kreider's got some good pop.
You're listening to 91.5 WJHS FM. Getsy steals third. There was a little bobble by the catcher again, and James took advantage of that and standing on third base. I could see Getz scoring here on a pass ball.
No doubt he will be aggressive. His jersey's already dirty. I'm sure Coach Bell's going to love washing that one with the OxyClean tonight.
Kreider hit the ball to the third baseman, bobbles it. Come on, Kreider, you got to hustle, buddy. Okay, so here's what just happened. Getz comes in. The third baseman bobbled the ball, but the shortstop was right behind him to pick it up, and then had an errant throw over to first base. So I don't know if you want to call that, who do you call that the error on? Do you call it on the third baseman? Do you call it on the shortstop for the throw, or do you call it on both of them? Because the third baseman had the initial error on bobbling the ball, and then they would have thrown him out had that throw been there. So I think that's 2 errors on the same play.
Yeah. Absolutely. E5 and an E6.
E5, E6, and Kreider's safe at first.
Gets a chance to redeem himself.
Oh, they're falling apart here, folks.
Platt's going to go to second.
E6.
Ooh, Platt's not going to get caught in the run down there as he rounded second aggressively.
You're going to give that error to the first baseman or the throw?
That was in the dirt, right?
Lori, did you give that error to the first baseman or the third baseman?
Number 4.
Third baseman on the throw. So official bookkeeper tonight, Lori Bell. Error to the third baseman on the throw. The first baseman wasn't able to pull that one out of the dirt. And so that advanced Kreider to third base and Eli Platt standing on second. The Eagles have 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. They've got 4 runs across the plate. And Brock Daly's up to bat here. I want to see him lay down a bunt, load the bases, get back to the top of the order here. You know, you got Devin Kreider on third base, so, you know, and not taking anything away from Devin here, but he's not going to be a speedy fella by any stretch. But that's fine. Go ahead and let Brock lay down that bunt and load the bases, and then let Julian come up, top of the order, clean things up here. Ball and a strike on Brock Daly. Swings for strike 2, fouls it back to the fence.
Brock Daly has really solidified that 9-hole spot for the Eagles.
Hasn't he, though?
He has.
He really owns it.
You know, he doesn't deserve to be, he's not a hitter that is your 9-spot hitter, but the way Coach Bell has it, he put ones to the right side, he's got good speed, not quite going to beat it out. First
baseman, nice long legs right there, was just able to put out the race to the bag there and puts Daly down unassisted for the 3rd out of the inning.
You know, Brock Daly does a great job of, he gives you that strength of, at the 9-hole, he can do a lot of different things. We mentioned multiple times he can lay down the bunt, he's got good speed, he can go to the opposite side, puts a lot of pressure on the defense, he's got a quick bat. He's not going to strike out a whole lot, but he's really welcomed that role of batting in the 9 spot. Most guys, they see on batting spot, oh, come on, move me up in the order. But Brock Daly, again, that culture piece. All these
Team
guys
player.
here, yes, they've accepted that role. That hasn't always been the case, and that's something that's really rare. Coach Bell and the coaching staff and Coach Daly have done a great job of instilling that, and these players have really bought into we not me mentality. Absolutely.
The Manchester Squires have an inning they'd like to forget. They give up 4 runs on 2 hits, 5 errors, and 2 left on base. The Eagles head into the top half of the 5th inning, up 6-0 against the Squires. Aiden Miller still out on the bump. Do you know what his pitch count's at, Coach Ambrose?
We'll check his pitch count here through Game Changer.
I'm going to say he's got to be around 85, somewhere in there.
Get this refreshed here. While we're waiting for that to refresh, give a little shout out to our WJHS workers. We got Tilly, Caleb, Avery, McKenna, and John Peters working behind the scenes today. Again, they come out. They come out here right after school at 3:35 to get this set up. They do a great job. First pitch swinging for the Squires, right up the middle over second base. Dalen Johnson fields that ball and had to make the throw to first base and just pulled Devin Kreider off. Devin made a nice stop there to keep that ball from rolling to the fence. He did. Keeping that guy at first. Yeah, you just saw on a replay there, Devin laid out, stopped the ball. That guy easily, very well could have went to the fence, and then they start off with runners in scoring position. What did you guess the pitch count was again? I said 85. He's at 54. Don't believe me, man. All right. He's been very efficient. We're back to the top of the order here for the Squires. Ethan Hendricks, freshman, up to bat here. Takes one, base hit into the right center field. The runner from first is going to head on to third, so Squires will have runners at the corners, first and third, nobody out. Smart play there by Brady Bell not to try to get the runner out at third, as that would have no doubt advanced the runner at first.
You hit your cutoff and you hold everybody still here.
And again, those are the plays. You wouldn't have seen it happen all the time, but 5 years ago, 4 years ago, those types of plays would have happened.
You'd have thrown it all over the
They would
place.
have thrown it all over the place, and it's hit your cut.
Yep, this will give Sam Glad the opportunity, if that runner goes from first, go ahead and peg him out at second base. Sam's got the arm to do it. First pitch swinging for Gavin Martin. Fouls one off his foot. Seems to be all right. Aiden Miller on the bump here. Looks into Sam Glad for his pitch. Set. Wind up. Miller delivers.
Ooh,
A foul ball. That was an accident.
that was. Haven't seen the runner first in motion through the first two pitches. As Miller's ahead 0-2.
This would be a key out right here.
Turn 2 up there. Runner's on
Runner's
the
going.
move.
No throw. It was an inside pitch. Sam would have had a hard time. I think he made the good decision not even throwing that one. It wasn't a good pitch for the catcher to make a throw to second base. It was a good pitch for the catcher to make a throw to third base, but not to second. Count sitting at a ball and 2 strikes. Squires have runners in scoring position at second and third. Sam did a great job there blocking that pitch. Evens the count at 2-2.
I don't think we've really seen any pitch get past Sam this afternoon.
No, and the ones that were in the dirt, he did his job and blocked or kept in front of him. Miller delivers. Oh,
Thought about it.
he sure did think about that. Ball 3, count here. Top of the 5th inning.
Appeal down to the field umpire. Gave the safe sign.
I think that was accurate. He held there.
Full count.
Gavin Martin up to bat here. 10th grader. And he struck out swinging. Miller got him on the high cheese right there.
That brings up number 2, Garrett Seitz, the 3-hitter.
That's the 7th strikeout of the game for Miller.
Miller's cruising through 4 1/3. Seitz has that open stance and a big leg. There's that outside corner.
Strike 1. Neither team can complain about that pitch. It might be outside a little bit, but he's calling it both ways, and he's been consistent every single time.
Oh,
Seitz takes one up the middle. It's gonna score a run.
we have a substitution there. Butler moved in at second.
I was just gonna say Brock Daly makes the play, but that was not Brock Daly.
I just noticed some flow there at second. I know Brock Daly doesn't have as much flow there as Chris Butler, number 12, the senior middle infielder.
The Squires score on that last play. Miller hasn't had super control of that curveball today. He's left him high and inside on right-handed batters. That time was no different, so he's sitting 1-0 here in the count. Fires back with a high fastball for ball 2. Squires have a runner at third base, 2 outs. They have 1 run in here at the top of the 5th. Justin Hall up to bat for the Manchester Squires. He's going to take that outside strike.
Got a pretty good turnout here. We had a pretty good turnout through the first 4 home games for the Eagles. We haven't had awesome weather other than the opening night against Central Noble.
That was a packed house now.
That was a packed
That was a
house.
great game.
Pokes one to center, right center gap as Brady
There we
Bell.
go. Brady Bell calls off who's our center fielder
Landon
tonight?
Iden. They avoided the collision.
I know who would have won that collision, and
Yep.
it wasn't Landon.
No. Brady's got a few inches on him and probably a few pounds too.
Not even probably. The Squires put up 1 run on 2 hits, 1 runner left on base. After 4.5 innings here, your Eagles are up 6-1.
Again, just give you a reminder that coming you won't see any broadcasts until next Saturday at the earliest. We're unsure if we'll have a broadcast out here next Saturday with the doubleheader against Northfield. But the Eagles travel on the road twice this coming week. Well, we got Saturday, doubleheader at West Noble, Tuesday at Belmont, and then Thursday they're on the road again to Huntington North.
Speaking of Belmont, they have, I don't know if it's one of their rec league fields, but travel teams play on it too over in Ossian.
Okay.
And Ossian's just nothing more than a little blip on the map.
Okay.
And they have a mini Fenway. They've got a green monster out in left field. It's awesome. The dugouts are step down dugouts.
Okay.
It's for a little guy.
Yeah.
It's a really cool
That is
experience. Just you step out there and it's like, dang, this is what it's like to be in the bigs right here in Northeast Indiana, baby. I think we have a few Columbia City baseball alumni here tonight. I think I saw Mike Nodine, Trevor Ebersole.
Seniors from last year's squad.
Putting in a day's work and a day at school and still finding time to come out here and support the Eagles.
I think I've seen Ebersole at multiple home games. I haven't really been looking for a whole bunch of others.
Nodine's been at a couple too. Yeah.
We got some Lady Eagle softball players here as well, some JV baseball players. Speaking of JV, again, we mentioned last night they handled Wawasee as Julian Oscilier leads off the bottom of the 5th for the Eagles. Noble Heinen Jr. had a grand slam last night.
He did. Hold on, I think do we have a new pitcher here for the Squires?
Fouls that behind and off the sidewalk behind the Squires dugout. New pitcher for the Squires, number 3, Garrett Seitz.
No.
Nope. Excuse me, Justin Hall.
There we go.
Senior. Pumps in a strike.
Julian takes strike 2 there. 2 pitches, 2 strikes for the new pitcher for the Squires. But yeah, Noble last night.
Pokes one.
Defensive at bat right there.
And there's another error.
Speed kills, man.
Yep. You got
happy to see there. So there was a little defensive blooper hit towards first base. The first baseman, the pitcher, and the batter all running towards first base, and thankfully nobody got stepped on there. We're going to rule that an E3.
I'm watching the replay on our screen here. I'm giving that looks like the pitcher really had to lean to try and make it.
So it was the error on the first baseman there.
E3.
Yeah, we'll go E3. Iden steps in. And a throw back to first base to keep Oscilier honest over there.
We'll check the box score to see how many errors the Squires have.
A lot. What do I have here? 1,
they're sitting at
2,
9.
7, 8. I've got them at 8.
You got them at 8.
Little bunt and run on here. Iden lays down a great bunt in between.
Ooh,
he stayed. He called him out. Wow. That was close.
I'm sure we'll get a replay here as well.
Yep. Landon laid down a great bunt. It went right in between home plate and the pitcher. I think had it been on one direction either way, he'd have been safe there, but the pitcher picked it up and threw a strike to first base. But Iden does his job with sacrifice bunt.
Brings in the big lefty bat of Sam Ladd. Staying outside for ball 1. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Eagles 6, Squires 1.
Oscillier on second base. Medium speed out there. Not too bad. Base hit should score him. Sam takes a strike. Called strike. 1-1. But yeah, Noble last night, oh my gosh, it was the coolest. It was the coolest. Bases loaded, he comes up, and it sounded good. But, it's like, okay, sounded good, but never ever has had a home run.
Really?
No, so his first run,
all right.
grand slam. Both his parents were here to get to see it. Noble struggled getting around first base a little bit, but, he recovered, and then his teammates were waiting on him at home plate when he got here. It was kind of cool. The varsity guys were just kind of hanging out after practice, so they got to see it too. And
was that part of the 7-run second or third inning?
No.
No, it was later.
It was later in the game, but that was the last for that pitcher. He came right on out of the game after that. He I think that was in the 5th.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Right. So what had happened in the 5th inning, the starting pitcher for Wawasee had come back out.
Okay.
And the first 3 batters got on base, and they had a conversation. The coach had been out, and then Noble came up and took care of business, and then that kid came right on out. Oscillier steals third base. Sam Glad drives one up the middle. Shortstop can't handle it. Oscillier scores. Sam Glad safe at first on the air by the shortstop.
Eagles have had a lot of hard-hit balls this afternoon. We saw Sam Glad be at bat before. Rocket one right up the middle, off the second baseman's glove.
Number 18.
We'll see if Schrader can join the hit parade today.
Yep. Brady's had a walk. The little batter interference or base runner interference, I guess he was running when he touched the ball there on his bunt, and then strikeout third bat. He takes first pitch for a ball.
Again, if you're just joining us, we got about 11 people watching on YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Eagles currently leading 7-1. Sophomore.
There's that outside pitch for a strike.
Brady Schrader, 4-hole hitter.
I was trying to think, Mr. Ambrose, something funny to say about us tonight. And, both of us, you and I both, we have the face for the radio.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Runner takes off. The hit and run is on.
That's perfect. Right
Little
side.
squibbler back behind the runner, which is perfect. So Brady moves Sam Glad to second base. It's exactly what he wanted to do. He did not want to hit the ball to the left side because that would invoke the double play. But when he was able to push that ball to the right-hand side, it was behind the runner, which helps that offensive movement.
Schrader moves Glad in scoring position for Aiden Miller. Schrader did a great job of taking an outside pitch and put it in fair territory, like we said, behind the runner.
Aiden takes first pitch for a strike.
Was that sarcastic or genuine?
His last at bat, he had hit and run on and was able to lace that ball into right center field, scoring a run. Maybe we'll see a little more offensive production here from Aiden Miller, help out his starting pitching cause. Umpire was working to protect himself there from that low pitch. Counts 1-1.
Up here joining us in the booth this afternoon, we have the 2 Eagle baseball managers, Zayd McKenzie, Clayton Warner, running the scoreboard and announcing. We have Lori Bell running the book. Caitlin Bronsdorf is, as always, the DJ. And we have shot goes to right field, right at the
right fielder's fading over. Had to make a little bit of a tough play there, but he was able to hold on to that ball for the third out. Eagles here in the bottom of the 5th score 1 run on no hits. 2 errors, 1 left on base.
Running the scoreboard for broadcast, McKenna Simmons. Again, we have the people behind the scenes running the cameras, the replays, streaming. We have Tilly, Caleb Avery, and John Peters putting this program on.
The music, don't forget about the music down here. Caitlin Brunsdorf.
I did get her.
Did you already?
I thought I did, yeah. We'll give her a shout out. Caitlin
Yeah.
Bronsdorf.
And Lori Bell with the official
Yep.
bookkeeping.
We got some people, and we got Caitlin Bronsdorf has some investment in the program. And of course, Lori
that
Bell.
was a cute way to say that.
That was a cute way to say that. She rolled her eyes at me down there. And your son down there relieving, getting a couple warm-up pitches is Sam Glad.
As close as he's going to be to a varsity game for a while. Aiden Miller back out on the bump for the Eagles here to start the 6th inning.
I don't believe we have any other. Is that? Yeah, I think we're still good on defense. Nobody changed. We got Chris Butler. He changed in, moved in last inning.
Hey. Yeah.
I'm interested to see here if we get into the bottom of the 6th, top of the 7th. If Coach Bell puts in some pinch hitters in the bottom of the 6th, or some other defensive Eagles in the top of the 7th.
Yep. Tonight, also in action, our unified track team has their first meet.
Yeah.
They were off to. I'm trying to think where they were headed tonight.
This Eagles Unified Track Team, they were state qualifiers last year.
I went and watched the semi-state.
Yeah.
It was one of the coolest experiences. It was really, really neat. The amount of cheering. They're headed to Wawasee tonight. Just got a little message from their coach. I was asking how things were going, and it just said cold. so we'll see how things are going. But Miller here off to a good start, heading the count 0-2 on the leadoff batter for the Squires.
Where did they have the semi-state for Unified
Yeah, I knew
Track?
that was coming.
Was that like at Carmel, or?
It was maybe Ben Davis.
Okay.
I could be wrong on that. I don't exactly remember her. Julian Oscilier makes a nice little play on a ground ball hit in between third and shortstop. He charges in and throws over to Devin Kreider for the first out of the inning.
Batting second, number 30.
Kobe Flock up to bat here for the Squires. He swinging on the first pitch.
Butler.
Over to Chris Butler at second base, who made a good decision.
Yep.
He started to charge that and realized it was gonna need a bounce and stopped himself.
He heard Coach Daly in the back of his head saying, "Play the big hop, play the big hop."
Play the big hop. 4-3 for the second out of the inning.
Third, number 4, Race Martin.
Miller's being pretty efficient this inning. 4 pitches, 2 outs. Right. Race Martin up to bat. Has to duck out of the way for ball 1.
Miller sitting at 72 pitches. I'm sure we'll probably see him go the distance. Probably you really don't need him to pitch.
Oh, you do have somebody warming up down here in the cage.
Yep. Is that Brock Daly get? Oh, maybe there's playing catch down there.
It could be.
Is that Eli? No, Eli Platt's down there. I know he pitches and he catches too, so I'm sure he's down there, maybe getting some.
Swing and a miss.
Oh, maybe that
Race
wasn't Eli.
Martin.
If Eli Platt's at left field.
Sitting at 1-1 here. Well, and there's no. Is there a bump out in the?
There is not. That's a completely flat batting cage down there.
Miller deals ball 2.
I'm sure we'll probably see this weekend starting for the Eagles on the mound. We'll probably see Brady Bell on Saturday as a foul ball.
Race Martin laces a foul ball down the left field line. Turned nicely on an inside pitch. That's where he was going to go with it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning. Eagles are up 7-1 against the Manchester Squires. Aiden Miller kicks, delivers, strike 3.
Another punch out. We go into the bottom of the 6th, and that's Miller's 8th punch out.
Let's see, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, 8th K. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. After 5.5, your Columbia City Eagles are up 7-1.
And we were talking about milestones earlier, just kind of crazy. I mean, it's the game of baseball. You know, Miguel Cabrera, again, 2,999 hits. The next closest to 3,000 would be Robinson Cano at 2,600 hits. And then Yadi
Molina,
at 2,100, and then Joey Votto's just over 2,000. So we're probably not going to see another 3,000 hit
for a while.
Probably for a while. Jose Altuve's at almost 1,800. Freddie Freeman's just over 1,700.
And you know, the fellas that you just named off there, that's an all-star caliber lineup that you just gave right there. And so, I mean, think about what that means for people who do get to 3,000 hits.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a feat. Such a feat. You know, and then to think that Pete Rose had
over 4,000.
a ridiculous amount of hits.
How many years he played for? Obviously, it was over 20 years.
Right.
But
Right. He spanned 3 decades.
Wow.
In his career. The you know, I was also thinking about interesting stats and how the game has changed a little bit professionally. And I know this is before your time, but you'll know the name here. Ricky Henderson.
Yep.
All-time base stealing leader. He's been caught stealing more times than anyone in the major league currently has.
Really?
For steals, like
Wow.
successful steals.
Wow. Yeah, that's
I mean,
crazy.
Just unbelievably gifted. And he, first pitch, that low outside pitch. Dalen Johnson takes first pitch looking for a strike. But Ricky Henderson loved the game of baseball so much that even after his major league career was done, he went ahead and played in the minors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he went back to the minors. Dalen Skies pop up to the first baseman for the first out here. But so yeah, like I don't know how long he ended up playing into, but I'm gonna say into his late 40s, early 50s. Henderson was still in the minor league systems playing.
Well, and we're talking about stolen bases. It's how the game has changed. So the yearly league leaders in stolen bases, last year was 32, and then we're not going to count the year before because it was a shortened season.
Right.
But then it goes to 37, 43. Then you had some people up there in 2 seasons of 60, 62 stolen bases. D. Gordon, and then the year before was Jonathan VR at 62.
Yep. Kreider let the slow dribbler to the shortstop, tries to get fancy with the ball, and ends up bobbling it. So we're going to go E6. Kreider legs that one out.
So you just don't see as many. Well, I shouldn't say as many stolen bases because I don't have the numbers for how many stolen bases are there combined. But
you don't.
No.
It's not the same game
No.
as it was in the early 80s, late 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, people were, and at the same time, Ricky Henderson was a freak.
Yeah.
In a great way. Like he had his niche and used it to his advantage.
Yeah.
And I think about, setting up, okay, if you could pick anybody that's ever played baseball to be your leadoff hitter.
Yeah.
He's got to be one of your top 5 picks.
He does. Ooh, another error. It's right through the legs of the shortstop.
That was Trevor Lickey.
Okay.
Came in for Eli Platt.
There we go.
Bat there. Trevor hit a ball to the shortstop, who let it go right between his legs. And so Trevor's standing at first base, and Devin Kreider's out there at second.
And we're going to get a courtesy runner for Devin Kreider. Ethan Patrick getting some varsity action.
Shut the door. I'm not for sure who would win in a foot race there. That'd be Devin or Ethan if we're being completely honest.
Now, we won't show him the broadcast and tell him that you said he wouldn't get in the game, but he's getting in the game.
Eagles are threatening to score here in the bottom of the sixth. Number 12, Chris Butler takes the first pitch strike.
Butler, switch hitter. You know, Coach Daly, he sent me this video. I had no idea this is how the proper way to keep book is outside pitches looked at for a ball, but on a switch hitter, so they're all on the professional lineup, they're color coded, and I never knew that, and I can't remember now which is which. If you're a righty or a lefty, it's inked in as red or black, and if you're switch, it's one of those three colors. If you're a righty, it's one of the three, and lefty and switch hitter, and I never knew that, and it just kind of blew my mind. I never would have thought you would color code on a professional lineup.
So you know who? Yeah.
Yep. Never would have thought. Butler's ahead in the count, 2-1. Watches another outside pitch.
Chris is having a great year at school, doing an internship
over at USSI.
At Ultra USSI.
Yours truly.
That's right. Sits down there in the what I call the engineer's playground. They've got all their workbenches. Chris takes a cut at that one. Strike two. Works to a full count here. Eagles have runners at first and second with one out in the bottom of the sixth.
It's really a great program for juniors and seniors. They hold up their they keep up with their academics and their attendance. They have a great opportunity as Butler goes down swinging. Great opportunity to gain experience in skills that hopefully that they want to pursue after high school. You mentioned Chris Butler with engineering.
Well, and honestly, if they do, if they do an internship and find out that that's not what they want to do, that's great too.
It is.
You're saving. I'd rather they find out when they're in high school when it's free than paying thousands of dollars at college.
Absolutely.
Julian Oscilier steps in with two outs for the Eagles here. We're back to the top of the order. Takes the first pitch outside for ball one.
I'm trying to think of some other interns, of our Eagles where they go for interns. I know
we've got somebody out of RMC right now.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't think of who it is, but who is it?
There's somebody at
at the nursing home. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think there's several folks out on internships.
Yeah. I know some of our Eagles players, Brady Bell goes to see for auto mechanics. Aiden Miller's part of the welding program.
I thought Brady wanted to be an electrician. Yeah. There we go.
It's construction. Caitlin Bronsdorf would know.
The
she
answer
would
to that.
know that.
Brady Bell's mother's up here to correct everybody, though. Hey, Julian Oscilier just took a big old hack at this at the pitch and skied one foul at the visitors' dugout. Runners are back to first and second here. Ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Going to go into a bit of a protective stance here. 2-strike swing. Got him. Oscilier strikes out to end the inning here for the Eagles. So in the bottom of the sixth, Eagles leave 2 runs on, no hits, no runs, and we head to the top of the 7th.
We'll see some position changes. We'll update those as we see them. We're talking about MLB, how the games change and how the hits, 3,000 hits. There's gonna be a long time until we see another 3,000 hit leader. On the opposite side, the home runs. Miggy just had his 500th home run
last year. Yeah.
Nelson Cruz is at 451. I don't know. He's been playing forever, it feels like. I don't know if, and it seems like he just keeps clobbering home runs, so he may get the 500. And then Giancarlo Stanton, Robinson Cano, Joe Otto. The next one we might see might be Mike Trout, who's at 312, which, again, that might be for a while.
Yeah. The Patrick family's headed to Seattle this summer.
Ooh.
And it just so happens that the Mariners are home. We planned it accordingly.
There you go.
And they'll be up against the Angels. So we're hoping Ethan, he's already picked out he wants to sit on the visitor side just to get the chance to See Mike Trout.
And hopefully Shohei Ohtani as well.
Oh, yeah, we had to have a talk about that.
Two superstars. Yep, I remember when I took a BPA student out to Nationals in Anaheim, I made sure to stop out at Angels ballpark, and Mike Trout did hit a home run. I stayed until, of course, they're 3 hours behind us, and
Right.
me not being the night owl that I am, I was getting very tired, and I thought, all right, Mike Trout's up the next inning. I'm going to stay and watch one more at bat. Glad that I did. Shohei I think he was injured that year, and then that was also Vlad Guerrero got called up maybe a week before that game, and he did not play that night. But yeah, I've never been to Seattle, so I'm sure that will be a fun trip. Talk about as Miller's first pitch as a ball. What I know you and your boys, you guys like to travel and visit some ballparks. Where have you guys all been?
Well, we've been to hold on here. Lead off, ground ball to shortstop. Dalen makes easy work of that. Little 6'3". Ironically enough, I haven't taken the boys to a Chicago White Sox game yet.
Okay.
We were scheduled to go last year, and the weather didn't cooperate. But we've been to Wrigley many times. First pitch swinging here, and a little blooper just over Dalen's head at shortstop. Falls in for a base hit. Back to the top of the order here for the Squires. Ethan Hendricks up. He had a single his last at bat here. But so we've been to Comerica plenty of times. My brother's a season ticket holder with the Tigers.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
So we've been there. Been to Cleveland. Been to Cincinnati. Went up to Milwaukee. That was a great stadium. Miller Park's a fun place.
Yeah, Eli said on one of our previous broadcasts that's his favorite place to go to, I think besides Wrigley.
Yeah, it was really nice. There weren't a lot of people there.
Yeah.
And at Wrigley it is just because everything is so compact. The aisleways are narrow. And so there's just people everywhere. And at Miller Park, it's more wide open. Hendricks hits a fly ball to right center field, and Brady Bell fades over and makes the catch. Torpy jogs back to first base.
You guys been to Kansas City, correct?
We've been to Kansas City. We've been to St. Louis. Kansas City was a cool stadium. Did you know that Kansas City is the American city of fountains? The way that
now that you say that, I remember when you talked to me a couple years ago about that. As the pickoff gets away from Kreider, the runner will not advance. Yeah, because they have a lot of fountains there at Kauffman Stadium.
Show it at the stadium, but all throughout the city.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. Kansas City. We had great barbecue. I had barbecue ice cream.
Interesting.
Mystery
All
Empress.
right.
It was delicious. Fabulous. Burnt end ice cream. Oh, that salty, sweet. Oh, it was great.
It sounds intriguing.
It was fabulous. And Kansas City is home of the Negro League Baseball Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Oh, that was great. We, the boys weren't quite old enough for their attention span for all day.
Yeah.
But we probably spent 4 or 5 hours there and were able to keep them entertained.
Is there a specific reason why that's the home of the Negro League Hall of Fame? Was that like the first?
I don't know the answer. That's
Okay.
a really good question. I don't know the answer to that.
And Sky back here behind the press box.
For a strike.
Gavin Martin evens down at 2-2.
Two outs here in the top of the 7th. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first base. Aiden Miller trying to have a complete game W here. Throws ball 3 to make it a full count here for
Gavin Martin.
Gavin Martin here. And Gavin watches.
The throw down.
It doesn't matter because he was ball 4, but
no,
they were still hold the ball. Hold it. So the runner took off. There were 2 outs. The bases were loaded, so the runner left with the pitch from first base. And Sam Glad made the throw down, which he shouldn't have. With 2 outs, it's either going to be strike 3 and the game's over, or ball 4 and everybody moves. But Sam made the throw anyhow, and it ended up in outfield. And the runner from first to second never stopped, and so he was legging out to third. And one of our outfielders tried to throw him out at third base, and then he was safe. So. The dust is settled here. The Squires have runners at first and third, 2 outs, and Aiden Miller delivers a first pitch strike to the catcher, Seitz.
Seitz fouled that one back into the parking lot. And he
Looks
watches.
at strike 2.
First and third situation.
With 2 outs here.
Glad down to the last strike.
Fouls that one off, stay alive.
Eagles looking to move to 5-2. Going into the doubleheader weekend, they could come out at 7-2.
Looking for a great day of baseball tomorrow. Should be beautiful.
Yeah. Make the trip over to the West Noble Chargers.
Who did you say you get? Brady on the bump, and then who else?
I would say Brady gets the bump in probably game 1. Game 2, Kreider can pitch. I'm sure it depends how game 1 goes. I know Vanderford pitched against Carroll.
Runner goes, and Miller hits him to load the bases here.
I'm looking at the roster. Bartol threw on Wednesday.
And he threw 111, so he's not ready.
Throwing. I bet you see him Tuesday against Belmont, maybe. You'll probably see him Tuesday at Belmont, which will be a good test for him as well going into his 3rd pitching contest. But yeah, I bet you see, I'm looking at just our roster here, you'll probably see Kreider, Vanderford.
Platt.
Yeah, Platt can throw
really
in game 2.
Threw a loop and things when Brady Schrader came down with the need for Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
Hurt the rotation. Ground ball to shortstop.
This should do it.
Should take care of it, folks. The Eagles put another one here in the book with the old 6-3 put out to end the game.
Eagles move to 5-2. Off to a very nice start to the season.
Manchester Squires.
The Squires leave the bases loaded on 1 hit, a walk, and 1 hit batter. No runs across the plate. Final score here, 7-1 for the victorious Columbia City Eagles.
Squires stay winless in their early season.
I think I have Aiden down for 5 hits, 8 strikeouts. Let's see here.
No, not really. No, I can't look at it.
He had good control of the ball today. 2 walks, 1 hit batter. Not too shabby.
Nope. He threw, wait for this to reload here
It's going to
for
be
his
85.
pitch count.
He's going to throw 85 pitches, just like I said.
You know
Mr.
what?
Ambrose.
You want your popcorn?
He threw 95.
Ah,
You were close.
there we go.
Threw 95. He had 64 strikes, did a great job, as you said, commanding the strike zone. He only gave up 4 hits, 1 run. And that run wasn't even earned. So 7 innings.
Yes, it was.
Was it?
Yeah, that came
Okay.
in the 5th. So,
Well, game changer's incorrect then.
right. There was a leadoff single by Torpy, the number 9 batter, followed by a single from Hendricks, and then so that had runners at first and third. Then Gavin Martin struck out for 1 out, and then there was a fielder's choice 4-3 that scored the run from third base. We took the out instead of trying to make the play at home.
Okay.
So that was an earned run. But a great outing, great outing. Miller needed that.
He did.
He was pretty frustrated after the
Warsaw game.
Yeah,
and rightfully so. He'll probably go up against Huntington North on Thursday.
That'll be a good matchup.
Yeah. Hopefully the Eagles can pull out both victories. I think you're on the road. Those are two, again, good caliber programs. I think you at least hope you can get pull out even 1-1 with those programs. As we said earlier, Belmont gave us the L at Parkview last year in a tough contest. And
that was a good game.
That was a very good game. Yeah. We'll be able to hopefully go there next year up at Parkview Field.
Is that an every other year scenario to get all the local teams a chance to play there?
I think so. I know that before last year, the last time was the year before Coach Bell came, so that would have been the 2017 season, 2018 season.
And then there wasn't.
And then they didn't bring us back for a few years. So then, last year was a nice surprise. As Coach Daly's down there taking care of the field, the ground crew chief, Coach Daly.
He wears lots of hats.
Yes, he does. He takes care of this field with a lot of pride.
It looked good tonight.
Yes, it did.
It looked really good. I'm really happy, and as it should be. The tile does its job in the outfield, keeps things pretty dry. We've had a fair amount of rain, and the tarp on the infield, and then the tile to help with the draining in the outfield has been really great. There have been games that we've played already this year that at the old field we never would have been able to play.
No.
Or there'd have been a rooster tail on every ground ball hit to the outfield.
That's right. Yes.
Water splashing everywhere out there. The swampland.
I'm sure we'll get Coach Bell up here for a post-game interview in a few minutes, and I believe we're going to get Aiden Miller in for our player interview in the post-game.
Oh, excellent. That'll be good. It'll be nice to hear his perspective on bouncing back after Warsaw and how he felt tonight. I mean, he looked really comfortable out there. He commanded the strike zone. Got ahead in the count on most of his batters. I think he had the one batter where he threw 4 straight balls to him.
You're right.
But that was one of 2 walks that he had on the night. So that's not even, he didn't struggle with his command there at all. He had a good night up to bat. Had that RBI single in the 4th inning. Reached on an error once, walked once. So, on base percentage, 750 tonight.
Yep. When we look at the stats after tonight from Game Changer throughout the season, Miller's at hitting a 333 average, just a touch under 500 for his on base. Miller moves to 2-1 on the season. Look at his pitching stats here. 14 strikeouts. Or excuse me, that's Bartol. Miller's 2-1. 17 strikeouts.
Does that include tonight?
It should, yes, because it says that he's 2-1 here. We got Coach Bell stepping in.
Excellent. I'll give my headset here to Coach Bell. Congratulations, Coach. Nice win tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Coach Bell, you've had a lot of success against Manchester. 6 years ago, you got your first win as the Columbia City Eagles head coach, and then tonight you grab another win to move on to 5-2 on the season.
Thanks for telling me all that.
You got it.
I can't keep track of all that stuff, so I appreciate that. No, I mean, again, I do remember getting our first win against Manchester. Coach Rupley he's a great guy. He's a great coach. He's been doing this forever. And so, this is one of those, when you get into coaching, you get so many friends, and Jack's one of those guys that just is a good friend. And so it was nice to have him, and James Payne was behind umpiring, and Phil Tush is a guy that Jack does basketball officiating, and so Phil does basketball officiating. So I've known all those guys out there for a long time. So
yeah, we saw that there was some hugging going around.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. That's what this is about. If you lose focus of what this is, this is a chance to have fun and be brotherhood, and both in your team and with all those guys too. And so I just appreciate all the help that Jack's given me and over the years, and he's just a great guy. So it's good to always compete against him.
Aiden Miller had a nice bounce back visit to the mound this afternoon.
Yeah, Aiden did a really good job. He worked hard down the bullpen. We had some good conversations over the last few days of just stepping into that leadership role a little bit more and understanding what it takes, and kind of being able to come back and show how to come back after a tough outing. And he did. He pitched a really masterful game tonight. I would have liked to have gotten him out of there with a few less pitches than what he did. But he did a really good job. So proud of him.
Yeah. Probably nice to have a little bit, not such a heart attack game here as what you had 2 nights ago at Fort Wayne Concordia.
Yeah, and we talked to the guys. After the game, it definitely was. It was. We were pretty confident going through, and I was really proud of them when I told them at the end of the game, I was really proud of the fact that we took the field tonight and we knew we were going to win. They just knew they were going to win. They knew they were the better team. They knew they were going to win. They just had that confidence. And so, we've talked every time you and I have talked up here that, as we keep taking steps in the program, as we keep taking firsts and doing things for the first time, that's as much of learning how to do it as anything else, is learning how to win and to have that winner's mentality, and learning when you got to beat the team you're supposed to beat. So told them again, really proud of the way we approached it with the mentality and how we knew we were going to do well. Yeah. On the flip side, not to be negative afterwards, they don't have 9-10 errors in the game. This isn't a 7-1 game. It's a 2-1 game. And so that's the second side of it. And I think we've talked each time, and we talked the other night after Concordia, it's just we've got to learn that when we get a chance to just knock them down and step on them, I keep doing this because I talk to them about kind of like a boa constrictor snake. They squeeze you until you take a breath. And then when you take a breath, they squeeze a little tighter because they get a little more of an opening, and then you just take a little more breath, but not much, and they just do it until you can't get any more breath. And I said, we've got to learn how to get that mentality. It's easy to say, but that's part of the learning process of how to take the next step to a championship program. And I think we're learning as we go, and it's nice to be able to get wins and do it that way. So.
Yeah. Well, good. You guys got a doubleheader up tomorrow at West Noble.
Yep.
And then you got a little bit of a lighter week as you go into next week with Tuesday at Belmont, hoping for some revenge.
Yeah.
And then Thursday at Huntington North.
Yeah. So it is. It's our schedule gets really tight through this week here. If we didn't play Monday, obviously we lost that game, but it's still, it's 5 games in 6 days, and 6 and 7 is what it would have been, and but it does give us that chance to prepare us stepping into conference. So, we talk to the guys about each week. We break games down basically into each week. We wanted to go 5-0 out of the gate. We went 4-1, which is really good. We step into the next week. We wanted to look at going again 6-1 with the 7 game. We've done a good job so far. We set ourselves up with, we're 4-1 right now, I think, this week. So we can be 6-1 if we can win tomorrow, both of those. So, that's taking those many steps, but then next week starts the next big goal, which is, you always play for conference and the chance to compete and win conference. So
yeah, and it's not an easy start to the conference, especially when you start the conference season on the road.
Yeah. Both games are right out of the gate on the road, but it is. I mean, I'm not sure there's ever an easy game in our conference. You and I have talked, Coach Daly and I have talked. Like, the NE8 is just. I mean, it's loaded baseball-wise right now, and there's a lot of talent in there at a lot of programs, and so I think you're going to have to make sure you're ready to play every game and be ready to compete. So
yeah, well, we're looking forward to next week, and again, you guys are off to a nice start, 5-2.
Yep.
You guys have been playing really well, and Coach Patrick and I talked about this. The culture of the program, and how we're really starting to see the change, because that Fort Wayne Concordia game, I'm not sure 3-4 years ago if that would have been the same turnout that you guys had. So It's nice to see again the program turn around, and hopefully you guys can keep up the hot streak going into this weekend and next week as you guys start conference.
Yeah, well, thanks, Coach. We appreciate it, and just try to keep rolling along, one day at a time, 1-0. That's what we kind of keep saying. So,
all right. Well, thanks, Coach. I think we got some time here to talk to the man on the mound tonight.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. 7 strong innings, goes the complete game, goes the distance. He had 8 strikeouts tonight. One of the senior leaders on this team, Aiden Miller. Aiden, nice job tonight. Talk to us. The mentality of the last time you're on the mound. It's been a week since the last time you're on the mound. What was your mentality coming into this game?
I knew I had to dominate. I mean, the last outing I had was not good. I got rocked pretty good against Warsaw. So I just had the mentality I could come out here and dominate, and thought I did it.
Yeah. Outside corner, umpire was, early on we kind of saw that outside corner was going to be the spot to go to. In your strategy, being the control artist you are, what was your mindset of how early did you see that outside corner was going to be there for you to kind of live and dominate there tonight?
I mean, I picked it up as soon as, second, third pitch that I was going to be there all night. And he was pretty consistent with it.
Yeah. Yeah. You had a nice time, not only on the mound, but also at the plate. You had a nice RBI, put some good contact on. What was your kind of strategy going in? I don't know how well you guys know any of the Manchester players. I know they're a little bit further away than some of our conference opponents when it comes to playing travel ball and whatnot.
Yep.
What was kind of the strategy there, mindset of come up to the plate tonight with Manchester?
I mean, well, Bell's been preaching line drives for the past, week. I mean, we had a bunch of pop-outs tonight, but my mentality was hit a line drive somewhere, hit it hard, and I thought I did that in second at bat. But
yeah, you guys did a really good job, putting the ball in play and making them make the plays, which they didn't make the plays tonight. Going into next week, you guys start conference. You guys have a doubleheader on Saturday. Going to next week, you guys are starting conference. Does the mindset beginning of the season to where you guys are at now, does your mindset kind of change as to now you're starting to get into the grind of the season with the conference schedule?
I mean, all we're thinking is winning, competing and winning. I don't think that's really going to change. Opponents might get tougher, but we're just trying to win.
Yeah,
compete hard.
Yeah. Well, Aiden, thanks for taking time out tonight to talk to us. Again, you had a great night on the mound. The team did a great job. You guys are, again, things looking good. You guys are at 5-2.
Yep.
Hopefully you guys can sweep West Noble and move to 7-2. I don't know the last time that Columbia City Baseball had a record of 7-2. It's probably been a while.
I'm sure it has.
But you guys get into the conference streak going into next week. So good luck to you guys. Thanks again for taking the time tonight. We'll see you, I think next home game's Friday.
Yep.
Or, excuse me, Saturday, doubleheader against Northfield. So good luck next week. Hopefully we'll see you then.
Yep. Thank you, Coach.
All right. There's Aiden Miller. We're going to go ahead and cut it short here. Thanks to Rochelle Patrick, Coach Patrick, joining us on the broadcast tonight. We're going to get some word from our sponsors. John Peters hopping on here, man behind the scenes.
Of course, I had to have my face on camera at least once a game now. Feels like that. I'd like to give a shout out to Morse's Builders Mart, Bard's Car Store, Mike and Son Satellite and TV Services, Indiana Physical Therapy, Myers and McNagney, City Auto Mall, Flowtech Plumbing and Heating, Pro Fred Credit Union, Moo Over Ice Cream Shop, and that is it. Thank you to all those sponsors for us right now. It really means a lot. Helping out the WJHS live streams, it means a lot. And thank you to all the employees tonight, Tilly, Caleb, Avery, McKenna for running the scoreboard. We pushed some of our people to outside their comfort zones today, and they definitely stride through. So it helped out a lot. And hey, you got a new TV screen for replays.
Yep. You say every game they're always adding something new. Again, you saw the new camera angle down there at first base, or excuse me, would have been you saw first base from the third base dugout. We got the camera showing you behind the plate view. We got the replay going, and I know you mentioned to me earlier this week that next week or the week after you're hoping to get some sound from on the field for the fans.
Moving out, it was still pretty windy today, and I just didn't feel like running lines and microphone and cable, especially because, with doing a new system, it takes a little bit of getting used to, so we were kind of out of our flow for setting up. So, it took us a little longer, so, we didn't want to add extra time on that's needed. But, hey, it worked out overall. Hopefully one of these really not windy days, we can finally run some line and get some microphones set around the ground so we can hear the crack of the bat and everything.
Yeah, that'll be great. You guys are doing a great job. Again, thanks to all the viewers tonight. Again, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, we will, at the earliest, we'll see you a week from tomorrow, and at the latest, we'll see you in around 2 weeks. Again, thanks for joining us. I'm Jared Ambrose.
I'm Jonathan Peters.
All right, you guys have a great night. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you.